flowing in their veins. Mackie and Judd on SKOR North and SKORNorth.com.
So I really believe that, you saw a Kirk Cousins last year that continues to progress. I mean, this is a guy who had success back in Washington when O'Connell was back there, but I think he's still getting better, and I think he can get better. We still may have not yet seen the best of Kirk Cousins to come here. That's why when we talked about Justin Jefferson and what he said about being the best receiver, I think it's completely feasible. So if they can hit the ground running and get started from week one and be on the same page, I think this team has a chance to compete. I really do.
A little Mike Garafolo optimism there. Did you guys see the debut this morning of former 1500 ESPN intern Jamie Erdahl on Good Morning Football?
I just did. Yeah, new set too, huh? Or are they doing a new set because they're in front of like a view of the outside now?
Oh, I just saw a couple clips on social media, so I didn't pay much attention to the set. I was just there for the tapes.
Changes.
Yeah, changes are afoot on Good Morning Football. This is Mackie and Judd. And speaking of changes being afoot, today marks, I'm going to start with the first statement here, boys, on this Statement Monday. Okay? Let's just dive right in here. Today marks the day of a new era of Vikings football, officially. You might say that, it was when O'Connell got hired or whatever. But this is the day that a new era of Vikings football actually begins. Players reporting to camp here. Practice starting this week. I am excited for an offensive-centric young coach, great communicator. I'm excited for a coach-quarterback relationship that actually might have a chance to mirror what some of the other relationships look like around the NFL. When you're collaborating and maybe you're texting each other once in a while at 9 o'clock because you have a play concept pop in your mind. I mean, how many times did that happen over the last 4 or 5 years? Probably never. So I am excited for an official new era of Vikings football to begin on the eve of training camp practice.
And I believe that our friend Kevin Seifert of ESPN, who is covering the team again, had a note yesterday, a tweet that 31 players reported. So it wasn't just the rookies. It was actually, I saw Kirk coming in. Kirk came in on Sunday. Kirk's there right now. Kirk's learning. Kirk's in the classroom right now. So, yeah, this is as curious and as optimistic as I've been about changes to this team and the fact that it's going to feel different in a long time. Probably last time I felt something like this was 2018 when Kirk was signed, and we, that defense coming back off the success of 2017 had been great. And we really thought, final piece of the puzzle here. Kirk Cousins going to be the final piece of the puzzle. It became pretty apparent when you missed the playoffs then in 18 that something's gone wrong, right? That team was way too good not to at least make the playoffs. And obviously how things ended there against the Bears was pretty bad. So, yeah, I'm with you. I am between the Wolves and the Vikings. I am really, really excited just because we don't know, and it looks like if nothing else, it's going to be changed for the better, right?
Oh, we know with the Wolves. I don't know what it is that you don't know about the Wolves.
I am not,
but we know. 50 win floor for the Timberwolves.
I was at opening night, 89 at the Metrodome, okay? I'm slowing my roll there. But I'm very optimistic.
Yeah.
But I'm very optimistic. And with the Vikings, my expectations aren't nearly as high as they're going to be for the Wolves going into the season. But in fairness, my expectations are going to be all the things that you just said. And as a fan of football, I am looking forward to seeing what this offense can do.
Football. Damn right.
Just as a fan. I mean, we got to watch the games, right? Might as well be fun. So
let's get it.
We got to watch the games.
I can't say, you know what, this Vikings game sucks. I'm going to go watch the Bengals.
Do you not like watching games? Is that what you just said?
No, I want Red Zone. No, if I did not do my job, I would be a Red Zone guy. I love the games, but I want to watch. In my ideal world, I'd love to watch as many games as possible. And we have to watch, and it's fine, the Vikings. But they might as well be fun to watch then. And this offense could be fun to watch.
This is what happens, kids, when
the Red Zone's
a football team absolutely sucks your soul out over the course of 5 decades. You're just like, I guess I got to watch now.
No, you know what? The Lord invented the Red Zone channel for a reason, gentlemen, and that is so that we can consume as much football as possible with Scotty Hansen at the dials.
Okay, what is, speaking of which, and I don't know that the Red Zone channel is included in this, but this whole subscription thing the NFL is rolling out today?
Started today, yeah.
What are you getting with that you aren't already getting with your other subscriptions to all the big, like if I subscribe to YouTube TV and I get to watch all of, like what are the extra things I get with an NFL subscription?
Game Pass, right?
You get Game Pass, which I know has been finicky. Like some people were complaining about the functionality of Game Pass from last year, and
but
then
that's just
also,
like watching the games after they're over, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
like doing reviews, and then
So
but
it's not the League Pass. It's just the okay.
you can then also stream, because you can't technically stream a local game on your phone here in Minneapolis. Like Judd and I can't watch the Vikings game on our phone, I believe. You have to do it through the local. So if you have the NFL Pass thing, you can.
Okay.
It allows that to be a thing now.
Okay.
And you can also watch, not out of market games. That's what, Sunday Ticket's for. But yeah, that you can now, if you wanted to, if you were on the road, you could watch, if you're on the road in Minnesota, you could watch your favorite team play.
Wait a second. So if you live in Minnesota and you're a Bears fan, but that's the Sunday Ticket.
No. If Vikings, let's say I am on the road, okay, I don't have access to a television, my local channels, my antenna channels.
Oh, you're just
I can
like
now
on
watch
394 at a
You're like in
restaurant.
Woodbury or
Right.
something.
Yeah,
Like
wherever
you've
the
gone
hell
to
I am.
Woodbury.
Oh,
You're in like,
okay.
Yes.
I am far away from my home in
Okay.
Woodbury.
Yes.
What can I do?
Yeah.
Fire up the... Okay, I get it.
Aren't you allowed, like if you have YouTube TV though, aren't you, and you stray away from home or something, couldn't you just watch Fox on your
I don't
YouTube
think,
TV subscription?
I didn't think that works. I don't think it works like that for football games.
I have no idea.
Who knows? Anyway,
Who knows?
all right.
One
Anyway,
subscription
hey,
service I don't need more of, okay? I have
listen,
like 9 of them.
We clearly have the inside info
Yeah.
on what you get with the NFL's new subscription package.
Yes, we do. All right, my statement is this regarding the opening of training camp. Now, to be clear, so the rookies and a bunch of players reported on Sunday. I don't know what they're doing today. There's going to be a Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah press conference on Tuesday, and then they're going to take the field for the first time for a practice on Wednesday, and August 1st is the first day that they can put on pads. So this unfolds slowly. But my statement is this. Don't sleep on it. And by that, I mean the defense. I'm very curious to see what Kirk and this offense can do. That being said, this defense, for a variety of reasons, I think it's fair to say, gentlemen, was awful in 2021. Like, it fell off the cliff. It was terrible. And in going to a 3-4 base defense for the first time since the 80s, in altering things and bringing in Zadarius Smith and getting Hunter back, I am extremely, extremely interested in what this defense presents. And I will say this, from putting together what O'Connell has talked about and why he brought in Ed Donatel, who's going to bring in a form of the Vic Fangio, very popular defense. The Vikings are definitely counting on having their defense give their offense a variety of looks that you see now on a weekly basis. And so it's going to be, if guys stay healthy and can fire on all cylinders correctly, what can the step be like is my question. Because it was really bad last year.
Yeah, I think I said this last week on Purple Daily. If Danielle Hunter is healthy, what's going to happen is we're going to go way too far giving credit to how great Ed Donatel and that scheme are compared to Mike Zimmer. Look how outdated Mike Zimmer's scheme was. Ed Donatel has his finger on the pulse of the NFL in 2022, which might partially be the case, but just having Danielle Hunter back, and if Zadarius Smith is even 75 to 80% of the player he was in 2019 when he was one of the 2 or 3 best edge rushers in the NFL. So I think some of it's scheme and some of it's just, we're just going to get a Hall of Fame edge rusher back and hopefully he plays 15 plus games, No offense to Ed Donatel. Smart guy with a good scheme.
I feel like that's a little bit of a slight, right away.
Easy Ed.
Well, people look at what Tyronn Lue did with the Cleveland No, it was LeBron. Can pretty much
Tyronn
run
Lue
whatever.
was a really good coach.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're
disrespecting
talking about anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's give credit where
Paul
credit
George,
is due.
Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James. He's fine. He's a decent coach, but
The minimizing is very upsetting here.
Very upsetting. My first statement with training camp set to begin is, who pushes someone for a roster spot? So last year, KJ Osborne, right? He had a great camp. No one really saw it coming. Went from like a bottom tier receiving depth chart guy who couldn't field punts to then turning around and working his ass off in camp. Made a lot of great plays and TikTok videos even that Judd filmed of KJ Osborne grabbing some great balls from Kirk Cousins. And we're going to see more of those, by the way, on our TikTok channel. We're almost to 7,000 subscribers. So hit the subscribe button. Cheap plug for our TikTok channel. Judd will eventually maybe do dancing, but Judd Zolgad
we had two go
TikTok
viral
at a
over
time.
the weekend. It's great.
We did.
What was that? Which ones?
AJ and Artis are our fantastic team behind
Love
the scenes.
that.
They're just pumping out the TikTok content.
God, they're good. That's great.
And we're now close to 7,000 subscribers. So, but if KJ Osborne can take that next step to like a legitimate wide receiver 3, which you saw last year, can Kellen Mond push Sean Mannion for the backup job? Will Kene Nwangu maybe push Alexander Madison for the backup running back job? I mean, how does even Lewis Seen fit behind Harrison Smith and Cam Bynum? And as much as we talk about running it back with the 2022 Vikings, it's the same core players, it's the same offense, basically. It's a little bit tinkered, different defense. There's probably a player or two that we haven't really thought about that hard that is going to push someone out, and I'm curious to see who that is. And that's what training camp is for. We kind of forget about some of these rookies or the sophomores that are coming into their second season in the NFL, and who pushes someone who we know for a roster spot.
Are there any sort of surprise cuts? You know, every year you can kind of look and say, usually 2 or 3 veterans that maybe you otherwise wouldn't think of, but then as the season gets closer, oh, okay, interesting. That guy's, maybe there's somebody else mixing in his position or something. Are there any guys like that you can think of, Judd, that are, you don't think that they're in danger right now, but actually, like CJ Ham. I could see CJ Ham not making the roster.
I think CJ Ham's a lock.
Me too.
But here's one, and it borders on what you're talking about here, Phil. I'm not sure it would be a surprise. BC Johnson to me. Like, there's a ton of competition there. I think we're just, like, he's going to be the 4th guy, right? It's going to be KJ Osborne, and BC's back. Well, slow your roll a little bit there. Do I see a major surprise? Like, oh my God, these guys mean business? Not off the top of my head. Like, I don't see one where it's like, you know what, Patrick Peterson can't play. Bleep him, he's gone. I don't see that one.
I guess the only...
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of offensive linemen. Like Wyatt Davis. He's not a veteran, but he's a 3rd-round pick from 15 months ago. And he is nowhere to be found. You said he wasn't even really getting run with the second unit in the offseason workouts.
And I think he's way down that depth chart. I think he's behind the 2 veterans that they signed. I think for sure he's behind Ed Ingram. So, yeah, that's one who he could definitely... I'm not going to be surprised by almost any cut they make from the 2021 draft class because it's not theirs.
Yeah.
So like, you could go and say, you know what? Rick whiffed. You fired Rick. Not our problem.
Yeah. You know who's very high on the depth chart here on Mackey and Judd, at least in the Mackey household, and hopefully soon in the Zolgad household. Nutrisource, specifically the chicken and rice food here. Again, this is for the YouTube audience. This is young Maya Mackey here, and this is a slow motion video of what it looks like when she's about to be served a half cup. Yeah.
She's like, I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
This is how slow she is before we feed her Nutrisource, and then afterwards.
Yeah.
So listen up. If Stella is within ear range here, okay, our goal here in the next several weeks is to see if Stella can be as excited about Nutrisource as Maya is. A 3rd-generation family-owned and operated business out of Perham, Minnesota, but they are serving up their food in all 50 states, and you can go to NutrisourcePetFoods.com to find a retailer near you. Does Stella know how to use the internet, or does Dad have to do this for her?
Oh, no, Stella's smart. Stella's smart. Dad's dumb. Mm-hmm. Stella's very smart. Mm-hmm. She'll take care of the whole thing. And if it means good food, she'll do it today.
Yeah, and it's all about really digestion and gut health, which is,
yes, it is.
Really a theme for more than just Maya Mackey in the Mackey household. Old Macadac here is all
and
about
Stella's a little old too, you know what? So it's going to help her maintain her quality of life. Feel good. Yes, she is very much on board with the switch.
The official dog food of Mackey and Judd. NutrisourcePetFoods.com to find a retailer near you. Also, our friends at Dennis Kirk. Still riding season for, I feel like when the football season starts, then fall riding season hits. So we still have maybe several months of riding season. If you like to get out on your Harley, your Indian, your Metro Cruiser, sport bike, you'll find what you need at DennisKirk.com. They have 160,000 parts and accessories in stock, clothing and helmets as well. If you order before 8 p.m., they ship the same day, and shipping is free on orders over $89. Ride more, wait less at DennisKirk.com. Okay, my next statement here. I think there's a good chance we're about to see the highest scoring Vikings offense since 2009. So I believe Mike Zimmer, and it's funny putting like offense and Mike Zimmer in the same sentence because we know that he just outsourced offense, but he was the head coach and kind of oversaw the offense from 30,000 feet. So in the Mike Zimmer era of Vikings football, they only cracked the top 10 in scoring offense once, and it was in 2019. Kevin Stefanski's final year, right? His year as offensive coordinator.
Yes. Yep.
And so they were 8th in scoring that year. And so as I did a little more digging on this, the 2009 Vikings were 2nd in scoring. That would be an aggressive jump to go from, I think they were like 14th in scoring last year to jump up to 2 in the first year of Kevin O'Connell. But did you guys know that since the year 2000, the Vikings only have one top 5 scoring offense, and it was the Brett Favre 2009 Brad Childress kick-ass offense. Yeah.
I would have thought 2004 possibly?
So 2004, this is where, 2003 and 4, they were 6th in both of those years. And they were number 1 in yardage in 2003, but in terms of scoring.
Right.
And so, they had Mike Tice had a couple really good offenses that were 6th in back-to-back years. Go back to the Denny Green era, and I'm just talking points per game. So they were top 5 in scoring in 1992, 95, 98, 99, and 2000. So basically 5 out of the 10 years that Denny Green was there, they finished top 5 in scoring. And that's kind of what I want to get back to here. They're not playing outdoor, cold weather football. It's indoors. It's one of the state-of-the-art indoor stadiums. It's track meet football that has been, in my life watching the Vikings, that's been the most successful strategy. And they got the weapons to make it happen. They have an accurate quarterback. So I would love to see this thing. And I think there's a good chance that I wouldn't guarantee a top 5 scoring offense, but they should flirt with it much more aggressively than they did with Mike Zimmer for 8 years.
If they're not in the top 8 in scoring, I'm disappointed.
Even in year 1?
I think that's fair. Yeah, because those weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, the weapons are if they didn't have Jefferson, I'd be like, okay, they're pretty good, but they'll probably be like, I don't know, top, again, 13, 10, something like that, maybe. But, I mean, you've got Justin Jefferson. You've got a guy who is lethal to defenses. Why not?
Let's get it.
Why
LFG.
I'm being optimistic, Judd. I hope you like it.
How long is this going to last?
Yeah.
Judd's gonna see.
I got big expectations.
You're gonna see Cousins is gonna throw a pick in a practice on Wednesday at 3:45 p.m. and Judd's gonna race to his.
I forgot to tell you guys.
Denigrate him.
Full disclosure, I forgot to tell you guys late last week. I don't know why. I had a dream that Kirk threw 2 picks.
Just in a game or in a practice?
In a game. No, a game. He was in a game. I was watching from the sideline. And he tried to force 2 balls into coverage, and both were picked. And one was in the Reds. One was deep in the Vikings territory themselves. So I think it might have got returned for a touchdown.
So you're now manifesting Kirk Cousins' failure in your dreams. This is how deep
things.
Into the Kirk hater lifestyle you are.
The Kirk hater lifestyle. Join me in the Kirk hater lifestyle.
We should launch a Kirk hater Reddit
Patreon.
for Judd.
The care package.
Kirk hater Patreon.
Yeah. $5 tier, $10 tier.
Every day, for the $5 tier, every day, Judd will give you 500 words on why Kirk is a terrible quarterback.
Join me at my favorite bar where we're all get together and slander Kirk Cousins. I just had the dream. It's not my fault. Subconscious. All right. So we are on PD today, going to do a deep dive into 10 guys that I think are going to be under the radar potential players. But I want to bring up one right now because I think we're assuming something and we're probably right, but I don't know that we're right for sure. And here is the statement. Ty goes to the Chandler.
Wow.
So,
oh my God.
Oh, Judd's Keys is coming in here. It's great.
Ty Chandler, 5th round pick in the 2022 draft from North Carolina. Let me give you his speed, okay? Posted a 4.38 in the 40 showed really good ability first for Chip Scoggins' Tennessee Volunteers and then for North Carolina. And, we are assuming, and I think we're right about this, but we are thinking that there's going to be a package of plays possibly or something to expand on the athletic ability of 2021 draft pick, Kene Nwangwu, who is very impressive. And I like the kid a lot. But Ty Chandler has attributes as well. And they drafted Ty Chandler. And I'm just going to remind you, I think the 2021 draft class is going to get a long look. So I'm not saying that they're going to be dismissed. But make no mistake, they are not the draft picks of this front office and coaching staff. This year is. So I think it's worth keeping an eye on what Ty Chandler does in the Kene role as well, because I think it might come down to a battle of those two to see who can give you more athletic ability-wise.
So, okay, do you think, would they ever keep on the roster, would they ever keep, what's my math here, 4 running backs and a fullback? Or would it have to be 3 running backs and a fullback? A lot of this depends on special teams. But
exactly.
Does the fullback count as like one of the tight end spots?
Like an H-back?
Yeah, like an H-back.
Wow.
That's
Damn right.
Dex might have nailed it there. Dex might have nailed that. That's a great, yes.
You. KOC, give me a call.
Because you could cut a tight end then who's just going to block and say that that these are our tight ends / H-backs on the depth chart, and then cut one and keep Ham. That's
because I guess where I was going to go is if
very impressed.
Thank you.
If they felt like they were only going to keep 3 running backs and not 4, which even with Declan's scenario could be plausible. Would they cut Nwangwu? I don't think they're going to cut a 4.2, a 4.3 40 or whatever it is. And obviously, Ty Chandler is someone they want to take a look at. They just drafted him. Alex Madison went below 4 yards a carry last year. So I think the first 2 years we were all very much. I'm just gonna throw something out there.
No,
right?
I know, but I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Alexander Madison for the first 2 years of his career, I think was like one of the top 3 running backs in the division. It was Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, and then Madison was better than anyone the Bears or Lions had, but he took a big dip last year. Could you trade him for like a 5th-round pick to a desperate team?
I believe you said last year going into the season he was the 3rd best running back in the NFC North. Mm-hmm. He was behind Dalvin and Aaron Jones, or however you wanted to label it. I think it's solution 1 to start, which would be someone's going to go down with an injury. Some starting running back's going to go down for an injury. Like the Ravens lost like 7 starting running backs last year before like week 6. So I think there could be a trade there. But then if he doesn't show anything in Nwangwu and Chandler, by the way, like don't forget about Ty Chandler to Judd's
point. Whole point.
He might just be expendable, dude. They might just say goodbye if no one wants him.
Yeah, Madison you're talking about?
Yes, Madison. That's what I'm talking about.
He's 23. He just turned 24 years old. He's good. I don't think he's one of those guys that you're going to give 200 carries to, but yeah, like you said, there's going to be 4 running backs that go down with ACL injuries or something in the preseason or training camp.
Right.
So what could you get in a trade for Alexander Madison if you really like the other 2 guys and have a plan for them behind Dalvin Cook?
Day 3 pick.
Yeah, I think
you
can get like a
6th-round pick or something.
That'd be great. I'd take a 5th. Yeah.
So I think the conundrum here on Nwangwu and Chandler is this. In 2022, with what they bring speed-wise, could you get either through to the practice squad starting with Chandler? It's like, so could you like Chandler, cut him and sign him back to the practice squad? But I got to think a team like the Chiefs, right, would be like, hell no. We'll take a shot on that guy.
The other thing that makes trading Madison somewhat appealing here is that he's going to be an unrestricted free agent after the season, and there is 0 chance that you're going to re-sign him because he's going to go and make.
And he's a running back. You're right.
He's going to make a couple $1 million or something. Like he's going to make more money than you would feel comfortable paying him if you like the guys that you have that are younger than him. So if you have a chance to get something for him and give a couple speedy young running backs a chance to be the backups to Cook, it could make some sense. Could make some sense. Is it back to me here? Where are we in the order?
Back to me.
Back to Dex.
Declan.
Okay.
All right. My statement is I am just ready for some football. I am ready for some damn football. Training camp used to do nothing for me, to be honest. Like it used to do absolutely nothing. Outside of like the fun Brett Favre, like, is he going to come here? Like that was awesome. And I was in high school for that. And it was appointment viewing, watching Sports Center and being glued to any local TV radio, trying to figure out if Brett Favre was coming. But now I'm juiced. Like mid to late July is the sports dwell. Like it is some people think it's after the Super Bowl. I think mid-July is the worst and most boring time in sports. Like the All-Star game happens. There's even no sports that happened. I think Le Batard coined the Wednesday after the All-Star game is single-handedly the worst day in the calendar year for sports because no one's playing. Literally, no one is playing. So now that it's mid-July, we're even with the first place ball club. I want to see what Kevin O'Connell brings to the Vikings. I want to see some hands in the mud. I want to see some special team gunners. I am just ready for some damn football. Give me all the training camp, dude. Bring it on. Let's go.
Get it. Special teams gunners. You know you're desperate for football when you get excited. It's Declan just standing ovation when the special teams caps go on.
Yeah.
Those are tough jobs, man.
It is.
Those are tough jobs.
Alley wedge left. Let's get it.
Can I come with you to training camp,
for
Judd, and I can just watch special teams and gunners? Is that possible? Can you just focus on the offense and defense, and I'll bring some special teams
If you
gunners
sit in the
take?
stands, you can. I'm afraid I can't probably get you.
Are they not doing so? Do they not even do like a walkthrough, or is the walkthrough not available to media?
The walkthrough's in the morning. I think it's available.
Wait, why can't I come? I can get.
Well, you
credential.
gotta talk to people then. I can't. You know what?
It sounds like you just don't want me there.
Oh, that's partially true too. But I mean, I do need some stuff, so I mean, I'm sure I could help. They do a walkthrough, press conferences, and then I think they're going to start practicing at 2:15 or something like that.
Well, but I'm looking at the schedule here, and the walkthroughs don't actually start till Saturday. Is that so? Are they? Here's what they're probably doing a ton of classroom work, like meeting rooms and stuff, this week, and then their afternoon practices starting on Wednesday at 2:15. So they're doing 2:15 Wednesday, Thursday. The U.S. Bank Stadium practice on Friday at 3, and then Saturday is their first noon walkthrough, at least on the schedule that we got. So, Declan, if you're really looking for, I mean, Saturday might be a great day for you. That little walkthrough where they walk through special teams, kickoffs and stuff, that could really...
I got bad news, guys. Like, if you really want hand in the ground, snot dripping from faces, blah, 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 Dex, we're past that. This is now a thinking man's game. This is thinking time of year. Like Phil said, it's classroom, okay? So, like, the days of Childress conducting 12 consecutive padded practices, the league frowns on that now.
Right. Who was it Childress that did the big conditioning punishment his first year, too, in 2006?
Yes. It was closed, and, like, they tarped off the Mankato fields. But yes, it was some like type of grueling conditioning thing. And of course, some guys didn't fare too well.
That's why I quit football after 8th grade.
Oh,
it's not fair. So they do the conditioning
100%.
thing. It was some sort of punishment, I remember. And there's like, how many, I don't know, 50 kids or something.
Shape, yeah.
Well, no, but so someone left a roll of tape on the locker room floor. And one of the coaches said, we keep our locker room clean. Now you all must run around 2 fields, do 2 laps around 2 fields or something. And if all of you don't finish by, like, all of you need to finish by this time, every last one of you, or you're going to run another one. And of course, there's always 3 fat kids that are.
Yeah, and it's not their fault.
And they're not going to finish the second time because now they're tired.
Right.
That's why
even as someone who
played
was
baseball instead.
Yeah, as someone who played baseball and ran some track, but I was more sprinting than I was distance. Like, I don't understand the point of running just for the sake of running. Like, I did cross country for 2 weeks in high school, and I realized we're just running. Like,
on a golf course.
On a golf course, 5Ks and training for distance running. I was like, this is dumb. I am out on this. There's no chance I can do this.
One captain's practice. I made it through one captain's practice in July of 87 or so, and we ran. And this was us. Like, this was not coaches yet, right? Yes. And I had been recruited, hey, you're a big guy, you should play football. I'm like, okay, I'll come out and see you. I'm like, I'm out on this. This is just a bunch of garbage. I'm being forced to run by high school kids. Imagine what adults will do to me. So I kept stats and criticized.
And look where it's gotten you here.
I'm still doing it. To this day, I observe what you do wrong and critique it. It's much easier.
Amazing. All right, let's. We're at the halfway point here of statements on a Monday. So let's turn our attention, boys, to the first place baseball club that took a couple games from the Detroit Tigers. And this edition of Twin Statements, presented by our friends that have gotten Judd from being a fat potential high school football player to, I think now they would recruit you to play. Yeah, they'd recruit you to play cornerback or kicker or something.
Oh, forget about that. I'd say quarterback. Yeah, look at that guy. Look at the shape that he's in. And right now, you're saying, "How did you do it, Judd? How did you drop 40 pounds, and your wife, Dawn, she's down
My
12
wife.
pounds.
My wife.
And it's thanks to my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers who have helped me reshape that body that you are looking at right there. 52, never better. And now you're saying, well, hold on a second, Judd Zolgad. If you can do it, I can do it. How can I do it? It's the Simple Start Plan. $59. I'll say it again, $59. And here's the best part. One-on-one personalized and guided support online or in person, whichever is most convenient for you. 855-GO-LIVEA, Livia.com, Livea.com. In all seriousness, the Zolgad household down 50-plus pounds.
Wow.
Doing it with as a team, absolutely a great call. Livia.com. Check them out.